Oh! What do you want, Bruiser?
In the second one, we explore his character a little bit more.
Hey, I get an opening. Yeah. Great, dude. Great.
Some really personal things are revealed about him.
Most dogs like to chew your shoes, and Bruiser like to wear mine.
About his sexuality.
Your dogs are gay.
Our dog's gay. A dog will hump a chair.
Your Chihuahua is quite the little leaper, young lady.
Imagine that there wouldn't be gay dogs too. I think is narrow-minded.
I told Doris not to buy it at DuPont Circle, a damn homosexual puppy boutique.
I think there is homosexuality in the animal kingdom. I mean, you get gay dolphins. You get dolphins trying to make it with people off the coast of Florida. So, hey, I say, let's all, be free.
Mooney goes both ways. Gidget, the Taco Bell dog. Gidget's a girl, and he loves Gidget. She's probably his best girl, but he does have an attraction to some men as well.
Good boy. It's fun. It's all done in a very sweet family way.
My Rottweiler Les is of the homosexual orientation. There, I've said it. I'm out.
I don't know what to tell you. It's very upsetting to a Southern conservative NRA spokesman, and my dog is gay.
Why me? Why my dog?
I treated it, in my playing of the scenes about that, as if I had to come and tell my conservative constituency that my son is gay.
You just want what's best for them. Doesn't matter if they're the smartest, or the strongest, or best diggers.
As long as they're happy.
I didn't differentiate in the emotional impact that I felt, or the need I felt, my character felt anyway, to present this to the public. So, but it's, it's a dog. It's pretty funny.
Gay dogs of America support Bruiser's bill!
Congressman Marks, are you crying?
Paulette, where I come from, real men don't cry. Then again, they don't buy pink mesh tankini talk for the dogs either, so I suppose I am. Gay dogs of America support Bruiser's bill!
I guess I'll see you at the hopper.
What I was looking for was where could we find another fish out of water story, an empowerment story, what environment could we put Elle in that would take her on a different journey, mature her in a different way, and yet still retain all the elements of humor and goodwill that we came to love on the first film.
Ladies, I'm going to Washington.
Because you are working with a sequel, you really need to make sure you have something as powerful as the first one. And we needed to have an emotional resonance with Elwood's character. This one, she's already with Luke Wilson, Emmett, so you didn't really have that kind of stuff to play on, which again is why we thought Bruiser, the fight for Bruiser, was so good.
Presenting Bruiser Woods, Chihuahua. Who am I? Where do I come from?
Bruiser's a movie star. We almost didn't get him. It was a very tough negotiation.
You know dogs.
And he asked for a lot. And held out at the end.
Bruiser? Get here!
I just had to convince the studio that that was one star we could not do without.
I don't think you're understanding me. I'm willing to pay for her.
He's a wonderful animal who's got some kind of aura around him, and he seems to know when the camera's on him.
I never really missed a moment because of that dog. I mean, they say don't work with dogs, but he was a pleasure. I mean, he did everything he was supposed to do, and right like that. Moondog and his trainer, Sue Chipperton. Together, they're a movie star.
Before we start, I'm going to ask you all to just snap your fingers like this.
The director of Legally Blonde 2 is Charles Herman Wormfeld, and he was so great to work with because he comes to the table with so many of his own ideas. I'd really liked this movie he had done before, Kissing Jessica Stein, and it was a great comedic movie, but it also had a good heart to it.
I had met Charlie before, and in fact had asked him to direct a pilot based on the original movie, Legally Blonde.
Ah, there she is!
He had done his homework on Elle Woods. He knew the character. He knew what makes her comedy work. Even though she's larger than life, it's always sincere.
You fall asleep when we watch The West Wing.
That's true, but have you seen what they're wearing? All those browns and grays? Ugh.
The first thing I said to producer Mark Platt was, I'm in love with this character. I love this character. She is everything that I would aspire to be in the world. She's not judgmental, she's kind, she's compassionate, she gets her way. She manages to facilitate change around her, and she's such an incredible individual, so unique.
If the fabric doesn't work with you, don't work with it. It's one of my favorite mantras.
I mean, I certainly didn't want to reinvent this character. I think that, you know, Reese did a brilliant job of inventing her in the first place. You know, my goal was to help her bring her back.
Reese started Type A Films. She actually started the company a couple years ago, and this is our first huge Type A movie.
No biggie. On the contrary, it's a huge biggie. Being executive producer on this one was really a great responsibility to me that I took really seriously. I got to work on the script from the very beginning and work on picking the cast and choosing the director. It was really educational for me. It was the first time I'd ever done that.
What she's looking to do, because she's a smart lady, is make a context for herself to work in as an artist. You know, I think she's an artist before she's a businesswoman. She is employing the business world and her power as a businesswoman to create an atmosphere for all of us to work in as artists.
The pleasure is all mine. Believe me.
For your first movie, I think it's hard when Reese has to be an executive producer and the actress because the lines do cross.
I taught Bruiser how to shop online. I think I can handle Congress.
It's fun sometimes, you know, we're waiting. She has to be just so or whatever, or something's going on, you know, that's an actor thing, and we say, tell the executive producer to get that actress out here, you know, because she does wear two hats.
Welcome to the Wellington, ma'am.
Thrilled to be here. Bob Newhart is such a dream to work with him because I watched his show every night when I was little. They had it on after the news, and I would watch it. I would sneak in and watch it while my parents were thinking I was asleep. And he's just a really kind, genuinely funny, humorous man. Ugh, all day long, I felt like white open-toed shoes after Labor Day.
I hate that feeling.
Bob is great. I feel like I'm working with an icon, you know, with Bob Newhart. He's just so in the consciousness of you know, America.
Full sizzle, my ezzle. They explained to me it's a rap phrase, which I'm not real heavy into rap music, as you may guess. Sizzle my mizzle is the shizzle. Whatever it is.
Are you sure you're not a politician? DC needs a few more of us.
Women, I
know. No, blondes.
We wanted somebody who from the beginning was lovable, who from the beginning was someone who you thought, I trust this person. This is a good politician. This is the kind of person that, you know, Elle Woods would work for.
This is Elle Woods, everyone. Basically me when I first came to DC.
It's really exciting for me that Sally Field is playing Representative Reb because I had admired her for a really long time.
Sally's someone that Reese looks up to very much, just personally, as I suppose we all do, because her career has been so varied and so accomplished.
Oh, Libby just told me the news. Never underestimate a woman with a French manicure and a Harvard law degree.
I was so nervous the first day I met her. I just burst out in tears. I'm so and I just said, I had to tell her, I was like, I'm just so nervous to meet you.
You work with someone who is such a professional and so good at what they do, and you are just linked in like two actors, and it, you know, all history falls away.
We're peers. There isn't any age difference.
Can't do this alone.
That's why I'm calling in reinforcements.
Al, I hope we're talking to a couple of the brightest political minds in the country.
Happy to bring my old friends back, Jessica and Alana.
Oh, gosh, we can't wait to see them all. And the Statue of Liberty.
We couldn't believe it. We were just amazed that it was going into a part 2, and we were thrilled. So excited to work with Reese again.
They're like mad women. They don't ever stop, as far as I can tell.
It was awesome. I went, yeah, and I went,
oh, that's so great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They've got this rhythm. They're like chihuahuas.
How's that, Charles? Some wine to go with the cheese?
And they go, 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 go. They're very smart and they're very funny, but they never, ever quit. It just never stops.
Wow, that's so good. Ow! Everybody, this is the final member of our team, Paulette Barcel. It was exciting to see Jennifer come back and play this character, Paulette, again, because she's so funny and always says the wrong thing at the, you know, wrong moment.
Who's ready to discharge?
But she's so lovable, you just have to hug her.
Then we're gonna tee her at 12
Miss, save me a good one. Full color, big picture of Bruiser.
The girls love him. During the screenings, he just comes on and you can just hear them oohing and aahing. He's like the perfect guy in all these movies.
Look, Elle, your work is here right now, and it's important. So I'm bringing the wedding to you.
Because he's so macho, and the character is actually not very macho. He cannot wear the pants and still wear the pants because he's Luke. But now and then he'd be just like, oh, Charles, you're killing me. Like, are you telling me I'm gonna have to let her drive the car? We get married and we get in the car and drive away and she's gonna drive? Especially because he got to wave goodbye at the end. He made me promise not to use that take, and I just officially apologize. Sorry, Luke.
Hey, Mark.
Tried to hold off as long as possible to develop a look that was not like the first movie. So we're dealing with two things here. One is that Reese had become a movie star since the first movie. And the other thing was that differentiation from the first movie to take it to another level.
Hey, Bruce's mom!
In a way, we kind of worked backwards from Reese, that she needed to be a shining beacon in the movie.
Oh my God! You look like the 4th of July!
For me, it's about reflective surfaces, where it's not so much how much light you put on, but how that light is reflecting off her skin, like what is going through. And that gives her a radiance. That radiance plays against the darker Washington.
It's pop-up.
I just wanted everything to shimmer and shine and feel like it was soft and shiny and delicate and sparkly. And Elliot delivered her in a way that, you know, I've never seen her look like that. And part of that was at our test, because you do like a screen test for your actor where the director of photography, in this case Elliot Davis, gets to set up some lights just like today and shoot the actor in all different lighting schemes. He showed me two things which were surprising. One was the pink light, which I freaked out when I saw. I was like, we have to use it everywhere, and I started to sort of temper it, and eventually it's in some scenes and not in some scenes. And in fact, in the scene we discussed in the law firm where she gets fired, it's there, and then she gets it knocked off her.
You're fired, Elle.
What?
Because I think about it like her power or her optimism. The second thing he showed me that was amazing was that silhouette shot where she's sort of backlit and glowing, but you don't see her face, and then the lights come on. He really created a glow for the movie that I was very pleased with. We knew that we wanted to do something really fun when Reese discovers that Dana Ivey's character, Hauser, is her Delta Nu sister. And we thought it would be a handshake.
Delta who? Delta Nu!
But I kind of turned it into a dance. We got Tony Basil, who choreographed the bend and snap. I kind of thought like it would kind of relate a little bit to the bend and snap along with the intern dance that comes later. Originally it was a lot racier than it eventually turned out. I think Tony Basil choreographed them like a really hot dance, and Dana Ivey and Reese both said no.
It doesn't go with this.
It's like this, yeah.
Right, okay.
And then I think together with Basil, they worked out the dance that you saw.
Delta, Delta, Boogaloo. New, Delta, new, Delta. New, Delta, new, Delta. Beta, Beta, Lambda, Mu. Ooh, ah, Delta, Mu.
One of the things about making the movie that was really interesting is how do you create Washington, D.C. when you can't really go and film there. Security is a big concern there now. Plus, we were making the movie during the wintertime, and the movie takes place during the spring and summertime. I think probably our biggest logistical difficulty was going to Salt Lake City to do the exterior of the Capitol building and the interior stairs up to our House of Representatives. Sunday, January 16th, the day before the state legislature came back into session, the government allowed us to come and shoot for that one day.
DC, here I come.
Oh, 22 hours in Salt Lake City. We worked so hard on this movie sometimes.
Because we started at dawn, filmed all day. She had like several costume changes, and each one of those costumes and wigs takes an hour and a half. And we're shooting one of the shortest days of the year. So we have like 9 hours to shoot her, or 8.5 hours to shoot her.
So we shot straight through and got all of our shots on the exterior, took a break, and then went inside the state capitol and shot for another several hours inside doing a fabulous dance routine.
Intern class of 2003 on deck.
We have a dance number.
Hello.
Okay? And we didn't get to be in the bend and snap the first time, and so this is sweet, sweet, sweet satisfaction.
Flexibility counts.
Tony Basil choreographed everything. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine performer, and it was awesome.
Ready? Okay.
Dog
dogs peeing in a fire hydrant. We were goofing around and came up with that, and she put it into the numbers.
Jumping on that big guy at the end.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun.
He was cute.
Yeah,
Junior?
he was lucky.
His name was Junior, honey.
And I snuck a couple of kisses to him that got cut out. Funny.
Yeah, actually, I did the splits and got stuck and my pantyhose ripped, and she started making out with him, and it was the funniest part of the whole scene that got cut. I got stuck in the splits with all the Congress people, ran up the stairs, and she was tonguing the Junior guy.
There was a big scandal about whether there could be guys in the dance, and I was like, well, you know, they're trying to get the senators' attentions, the Congress people's attention. Some of the women might like the guys, some of the guys might like the guys even, so I just thought it would be fine.
Everybody's smiling, and music.
We were in Springfield, Illinois for 3 days because the interior of the Illinois State House resembles very much the interior of the U.S. Congress.
Then the Speaker of the House will stand and sing, "Because if you believe in the power of a single honest voice," and then Sally will conclude, "All you need is fingers and a cup." And then
Really wonderful extras because we were able to use the community in Springfield and to play the congressmen and congresswomen, and they were fantastic.
1, 2, 3, jump!
We did 2 ways by request of MGM. I commissioned a gospel-like version of the Snap Cup song. We did a whole gospel number, and everybody sang, and Sally Fields is shaking and shimmying. If you want to see her move, like you didn't ever imagine she could move. What's in the movie is the slightly more restrained version.
This week, Congresswoman Libby Hauser finished decorating her house, sent her son off to college, and negotiated a settlement between the San Antonio labor unions and the Department of Sanitation. Snaps for Congresswoman Hauser.
So what's your story?
The entire Lincoln Memorial is a visual effect.
The actors, Reese and the other people, never went to Washington, D.C., actually never did a crew. The only person that went there is myself and Chris Keith, my coordinator, and we went and shot all the plates inside of the memorial with a digital still camera. We actually shot her in a way that I could mimic the camera angle and position and location in the memorial so I could get appropriate plates so it looks like she's walking right in on the floor in the memorial, even though she's not.
And then using digital effects, we put them all around, like to make 4 walls, to make a box. So you do that on 4 sides, and suddenly you have a scene that happens in a space.
And the Million Dog March was Reese's idea.
Say Bridget's mom! Ooh, I like your necklace.
Before we started the movie, I called up Mark Platt. I was like, I had a vision, and I think we should have a Million Dog March. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but I think it'd be really great if we organized this huge march on Washington. It was 1 million dogs and all the sorority girls. And so the day we got to shoot that scene was so cool for me because it was a realization of my idea.
Come on, hurry up!
It was 450 extras and 150 dogs. It's the biggest day I've ever had. We had 6 cameras. It was absolute chaos.
On your feet.
Lots of reaction.
All the way up.
Our animal trainers interviewed every dog that was going to be in the Million Dog March to make sure that they were nice and could get along with other dogs. Because the worst thing we could imagine is, oh man, if we have a big dog fight, that's a lot of dog fight. Oh, can't have that. We have to have dogs that can just get along with each other. Now, movie dogs are trained to get along with each other and with movie crews in weird situations, to work long hours and be patient. Movie dogs are fantastic.
The way that was done is here in Los Angeles near the Coliseum, we shot the people walking on the sidewalk towards camera, and behind them we had amassed a very large green screen, and we had approximately 150 or 200 people. So that was the first tier of people that would appear in the Million Dog March, and that was our key stars, Reese and the other people in the front. And after that, once they got a take of that they liked, We got rid of the banner, got rid of the stars that are recognizable, and then mixed the crowd up about 6 times and had them walk that same motion towards the camera again. And each time that we did that, we actually changed the tilt on the camera to make them look like they were farther away. We assembled those groups of people one after the other, and to make it look like a 1,000,000-person or 1,000,000-dog march. Then what we had to do was create the plate for the National Mall. It's the side of the National Mall with the trees down one side and a big massive area on the left side of camera. What we did is then replicated the frame and put the trees over in the middle and made the width of that exactly fit the width of our people. I shot on a still camera the very first time when we were there in February when there was no leaves. We used that as a reference to put the shot together to get everyone to buy off on the approach. Then in the second week of May, we went back again and shot film, and the reason for that is there's now leaves on the trees, which is a requirement for the time of year in the movie.
Emmett! What are you doing here?
They forgot to have Emmett.
Are you serious?
We shot the green screen plates the very first day of shooting. They forgot to have Luke there, and he was supposed to be in the 2 marching shots. So we shot him later on a green screen, and I inserted him into the shot in addition to all that other work I said. So that you now see him walking with right next to Reese and the other people.
Hello everyone, my name is Elle Woods, and I'm here to speak to you today about a piece of legislation called Bruiser's Bill.
Elle's final speech was, I mean, it was a really big deal to all of us. It was so important to Reese. It was so important to Mark Platt. It was so important to me. And we understood that, you know, in a way the whole story, you know, either flies or dies right there.
Today is supposed to be about education. So instead, I want to tell you about the education you all have given me over the past 3 months.
What about Bruiser's Bill? We still need 15 signatures.
She's blowing it.
Yes, it's about Bruiser's mom, but it's about so much more than that.
I had sat there and witnessed this injustice, and I just let it happen. I didn't get involved in the process. I forgot to use my voice.
People have a voice. People can congregate and use that voice for something they believe in, regardless of whatever it is.
What I've learned here is how important it is to make our opinions known, especially to our congresspeople and, you know, and to the politicians around us, and how important it is for those people to, you know, maintain their integrity and in some way represent us.
A man who controls a political machine.
Boy, he's good.
The movie should have sort of addressed the sort of feeling that people are having lately about feeling disconnected from the government and feeling like they don't have a role or they don't have a voice.
It'll never work, Elle. You can't get the people to care.
Watch me.
This is about the little girl, you know, taking on the system. Martin Luther King said, the day that we stop speaking up for things that matter is the day that we start to die a little.
Those silly girls that I told you about with the blisters on their feet, I was one of them.
In the end, the essence of this story, it is a little manual for, you know, how-to for grassroots political activity for anybody who ever wanted to get involved but thought, what do I know? For those people, I think that, you know, there's a very strong little thread here that goes through this story that just basically says, you know what, you can do it. Go out there and make your voice heard.
So speak up, America. Speak up. And remember, you are beautiful.